Road trips on EVs are normally two things that people don't think go together. They worry about the range, they worry about the charging time, they worry about getting stranded out in the middle of nowhere. I decided, bravely, I'm gonna test that out. And this car that only gets about 300 miles advertised range. Was it really that bad going on a road trip with EVs? Come with me and find out. I wasn't planning on stopping, but all right, well, first probably real issue. The car stopped charging for a bit, don't know why. Obviously, the first thing you need to do on the road trip is to leave at a ungodly time, like every road trip starts. 11:49 p.m. Almost midnight. Get on the road. This road trip is about 526 miles all the way up through Michigan, across the Mackinac Bridge, into the Upper Peninsula, with our final destination being around Marquette. That makes the round trip about 1,100 miles. On the way, we'll be stopping at 3 charging stations. However, it gets scary past the bridge because there are no charging stations for at least 130 miles. Speaking of charging, let's get back as I stop at the first station about halfway through Michigan. One of the first things most people ask me when they're asking me about this car and they know it's an EV is, what's the range? I've probably said a couple times in this video, but the range advertised is like 304 miles, which maybe doesn't sound that much to you, but in normal circumstances, if you're daily driving an EV, you're never gonna use that whole range, and you should be charging at home. And this is one of the biggest things that I will always say, if you plan on getting an EV, you have to be able to charge at home. However much you use it, you have to be able to charge at home. Otherwise, you are missing out on so much of the convenience of having an EV. Then again, I know there's like the big difference of like just pulling into a gas station anywhere. It takes maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes to fully fill your car, if that. And with Teslas, they always advertise that they can do a full charge in about 20 minutes on a supercharger. And I know for some people that seems like a lot of time, but again, the whole point of an EV, if you have one, is that you should only be at a charging station like this if you're traveling. Otherwise, I don't know, if you're not driving more than like 200 miles for anything, it should be perfectly fine just to charge at home, and you'll never have to sit and wait somewhere for like 20 to 30 minutes. And while you're sitting and waiting, you can just chill in your car. You can go out, stretch, you can get food, you can, you know, talk to people, or like watch a show. And for very long trips, like what's an extra little, you know, hour or two to stop somewhere and like, you know, stretch and rest a little bit. All right, and just like that, we are done with the first stop. Time to hit the road again. All right, made it to charging stop number 2 after another 190 miles, right before the bridge, which you cannot see from here, but it is currently 6:22 a.m. So I did end up having almost a little bit of a scare on that last little bit of the trip because I didn't realize how hilly this area was. And with the speed limit being 75 miles per hour, it basically was like draining my range. I made the executive decision to go 65 miles per hour instead of 75 miles per hour. And that ended up gaining me like 20 miles of range back. I would have been fine. I got here with about 65 miles of range left, which I would have been at about like 40 if I would have kept going the same speed, but I wanted to just make sure that I actually made it here because I don't really know if these were gonna work for me. But now that we're here, we're gonna hopefully get some food, and then we're gonna go and see if we can make our way to the shore to actually get a really cool shot, hopefully. Off to see the Mackinac Bridge, my car. Now that is not a bad view at all, and worth stopping here and actually taking it in for a bit. after taking that view in, time to go find some food and then get back on the road. All right, we are back at the car. Got some honey buns to hold me over. There's no, at least, place close that I saw here that I can actually get like fresh food, and everything's not open yet because it's like 6 a.m. Got probably about 30 more minutes here to charge. For some reason, when I went to go get those drone shots, the car stopped charging for a bit. Don't know why. Don't know if there's like some weird limit with this specific charger. Came back, restarted it. So we're almost at 80% now. And we need to get to at least probably 90, maybe 95%, because the next trek, there's not a charging station for like a whole 160 miles. So we'll be on the road right after this. Another quick update. For some reason, charging stopped again at 83%. I can't tell why. I don't know if there's like a certain time or wattage that they do. It seemed like it might be around 20 minutes, but don't know. So I guess third time's the charge. We need to at least get up to, again, 90%. 80% to 100% takes a little bit longer, assuming because they don't want to like expand the battery too fast. So probably be here for another 15-20 minutes. While I'm waiting here, I'm just gonna have a bit of a lie down. And that's the nice thing about like having an EV that's pretty big. So you can have a whole bed in the back. It's a little cramped with all the extra stuff in here, but it's all right. I do probably need shades or something to block the sun, but hey, I can fully lay down at 5'11". It's pretty decent. But yeah, gonna hopefully be here for another 20 minutes, get a quick nap in maybe, and then hit the road again. We're at 95% charge, which gives us about 280 miles of range, and we only got about 170 miles more to go to the next stop. So, time to hit the road. I wasn't planning on stopping, but I kept on seeing these scenic overlook views, and just driving by them, I was like, okay, I have to stop because look at this. Like, genuinely, what a breathtaking view. All right, now after that little detour, we got about 33 more miles to go, 122 miles of range till we get to our next charging station. So let's get to it. Last charging station, then we're in the home stretch. Alright, well, first probably real issue. All the charging stations here have the correct connector for my car, but for whatever reason are not allowing me to connect. So I am not going to be using any of the fast chargers up here, unfortunately. There are level 2s nearby that I'm going to try, but I do need to grab some stuff in my ears real quick, so we're going to go do that very quickly. And then hopefully those other chargers work, otherwise, ruh-roh. Alright, well, took a little bit of finagling and trying and not trying, but it's at least working, so we are charging. This one is free, at least that's what it says. We'll see if that's true. It is only a level 2 though, so that means it's going to take a little bit longer to charge, but we only need to get up to at least 80%, and then I should be able to charge either at our Airbnb or at my aunt's house where we're going. So fingers crossed, but we might be here for a little while, unfortunately. I'm just gonna take this time that I have now to, I guess, talk about this little journey that we went on, that I went on, you and I sort of went on together. I thought it was gonna be more of an issue getting all the way out here and being more panicked, but like by the time I got here, again, I had about 75 miles of range left, which would have been enough to get to where I was going anyways if I needed to absolutely charge there. It's obviously not ideal, but it's fine. I did also sort of handicap myself because this car can use Tesla supercharger networks with an adapter, but they are like 200 bucks. And I decided I'm not gonna get one for some reason. And at that Myers, there was a bunch of Tesla superchargers that I probably could have used. I probably would have been fine if I had the adapter. Got to see some pretty awesome views, and honestly, it's kind of nice and relaxing to take things slow and not really be in a rush to get somewhere. I mean, even if it was a straight drive through, it was gonna be at least 8 hours, maybe 9.5 hours. The only bad thing was like the very long stretch of straight roads that had nothing going on. That made me almost fall asleep because there was nothing going on. So yeah, hopefully everything goes fine from here on out, but I guess we'll have to see. All right, a whole hour later, we're at 72%, which is not that bad. So we're just gonna deal with it and hope that will be enough to get us there, and we could charge either the Airbnb or at my aunt's house. So off we go to, and we made it. Pretty easy. Super easy, right? Now that I've driven about 555 miles, roughly, in an EV on a road trip, I think I can finally answer the question, is it really that bad? Especially in 2026, to go on a road trip with an EV, even somewhere as remote as this. So honestly, my experience was not bad at all. I thought I was gonna have a bit more of range anxiety on this trip, but honestly, the only point that I did was halfway through Michigan, which was kind of on myself. I didn't fully charge up like I wanted to, and then honestly, even if I would have stayed at, you know, 75 miles per hour instead of going down to 65, I probably still would have made it to the next stop with like 30 miles of range left instead of 60. So, and then not having any stops for 150 miles, again, isn't bad as long as you charge up and plan ahead. I know Michigan isn't really thought of as a place that is out there and, you know, not much infrastructure, but UP being up close to Canada, there isn't much. There's like a stretch of about like 60 to 70 miles that there's almost no gas stations. Then even when I got up to Civilization up here in Marquette, yeah, the fast chargers unfortunately were not able to charge my car, even though they're the right connection, but that's just a software update that will hopefully one day get there. And then my car can, if you get an adapter, charge at the Tesla superchargers, which are up there too. In the end, I only sat for 3, maybe 3.5 hours of charging. On the way up here, I only paid about $75 for energy, and with how much gas prices are while this video is being made, with my old car, it's about the same exact that I would have to pay for gas, honestly. And then I lucked out and actually was able to charge for free at one of the chargers up here that was a bit slower, and then I was also able to charge at my Airbnb with just a regular outlet plug. And I even drove around about 30-40 miles while I was up here, went to the movies with the car, charged it again at a park. That was about, I think, $14 is what that was. And honestly, pretty relaxing journey. As long as you just take it slow, find places to see where you're sitting down and charging. If you have an hour there, you can eat, you can stretch, you can sleep. You know, on a long road trip like this, that's like 8 hours. It's not the worst thing in the world. So yeah, EVs are definitely capable of bringing you where you want to go, wherever that may be, and getting views like these. Now, everybody knows the destination is only half the journey. And the most important part is getting home. Thank you for watching.
Parker! Hi, boy! Hi, bud! Hi! Whoa! Hi! Hi, boy! Hi!
Oh no, it looks like my guy's, he's going to a rest area. No, come back. Come back. Man. Now it's just me and this guy. Oh no, this is very tragic. I don't know how much you can see it, but there's a number 8 balloon slowly floating away. So, bye. Good luck, balloon out there.